Now, Prince Harry's US visa application has been handed over to a judge. His drug use, as admitted to in his memoir Spare, is the subject of a high profile lawsuit brought by a conservative think tank in the US. He's fighting to stop the release of these documents. Does this latest update suggest they could be made public?
Absolutely. I mean, so what we know about the Heritage Foundation's pursuit is that they want to know whether or not Prince Harry received special treatment or if he lied on his application. The judge said, I need to see what's inside of this paperwork to determine whether or not this should be released to the public. Is this, a value to American citizens? Why would they care? So the judge, I mean, right now, Rita, he could be, flipping through this paperwork. And I do believe if Prince Harry lied on his visa application, it will be made public. Ultimately, if Prince Harry lied, he could be booted out of the United States under a Trump administration. I do not believe a Biden administration is going to,
Oh, no.
give him any trouble. Since we've been talking, 5,000 people have crossed the Arizona border, so I think he's safe. But under a Trump administration, I think Prince Harry should be pretty worried.
Well, he should be worried because Trump has already commented on this. He's not a fan, and he's not a fan of the double standards. So he could be in trouble. Can you imagine that story if Prince Harry is deported from America? Wow. We'll be talking about that for weeks if that happens. Talking about Prince Harry and Meghan have once again tried to make political moves in the US. Apparently, they are supporting this bipartisan coalition with support from Hollywood power players to prepare US voters for a possible deep fake onslaught as the campaign year goes into high gear. I mean, come on. I mean, these two should just stay out of this stuff. Anything to do with politics, so-called disinformation, misinformation, particularly given the disinformation this couple has put out there. I mean, we all remember the Oprah interview.
Well, I have a hard time believing that it's bipartisan when it's run by Miles Taylor, who it's the future us. Miles Taylor is a notorious anti-Trumper. So bipartisan makes me laugh. But you're right, against disinformation, I'm not taking any advice from Prince Harry on disinformation. This is a man who thought he was on the phone with Greta Thunberg for half an hour talking about his private life and politics. And it was YouTube pranksters that broadcast it on YouTube. So when it comes to disinformation, Prince Harry is not an expert.
No, I completely forgot about that. You know what? There is such saturation with this couple. They're in the media so often that you forget some of this stuff. The whole Greta Thunberg deep fake, that was hilarious. Now, I mentioned Oprah, and she is the star of People magazine's 50th anniversary special issue this week. Has a glowing piece about her and her amazing career. It certainly was an amazing career. But when she turned 70 in January, it was hard not to notice, Kinsey, that the attitude to Oprah has shifted. She used to be universally admired, but now there are people who are having shots saying her squeaky clean image isn't what it seems. Her friendship with Harvey Weinstein certainly raised some eyebrows, but also there's been accusations that she's been responsible for having people cancelled and just not being the kind, giving Oprah that we are used to seeing on our TV screens. Is this all to do with her becoming more and more political, or is there something deeper going on here?
Yeah, because my initial reaction to this story is I think you saw a lot of people turn their backs on Oprah Winfrey when she endorsed Barack Obama before he even announced that he was running for president. I mean, she really inserted herself into that campaign. And I mean, multiple economists have stated that there's no way he would have received the amount of votes that he did without that endorsement. And it really shifted her into a new light. And I think most recently, people have a bit of disdain for her because you look at that Meghan Markle interview that you mentioned earlier, and Oprah looks like an opportunist. I mean, there was no pushback. There was no follow up, and it just felt like this was Oprah taking it. I mean, it felt like it was Oprah taking advantage of a really toxic family internal situation. Think back on Chris Rock's great stand up
Yes.
where he was like, this is just in law stuff. I'm paraphrasing. But, it just felt like Oprah Winfrey taking advantage of something really toxic. And, she kind of comes off as a snake oil salesman today, telling everybody she's doing Weight Watchers 1 second and then doing an Ozempic special 30 days later. I just think people don't trust her the way that they used to.
And I think that's the key word, trust, because trust with her was so high. People just religiously believed whatever she said, any product she endorsed, any positions she took, but that trust seems to have fallen significantly. Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time tonight.